I appreciated you when you raised the sexual harassment issues and when you were not afraid. How was it for you in having to deal with him, given the complexity of that?
It began with, I just admired him and I was a little afraid of him because he was inspirational and funny and smart, but also a little scary. And then it morphed into a period of direct, undeniable harassment, culminating in him trying to make out with me in his office 3 times. And when I wouldn't, he stopped me and said, "When is your contract up?"
I did tell a supervisor about it. And that supervisor told me that Roger was a good man, that he was likely just smitten with me, and that I should try to avoid him.
I didn't want to make a federal case out of it. I certainly didn't want to light the building on fire. I just wanted him to stop and to just see me through professional eyes. And then he did. And we got past it. I became good friends with him. I loved Roger, in a weird way. I cared for his wife. I cared for his son. Doug and I, my husband, had been to their house for dinner many times. Then Gretchen Carlson filed that lawsuit.
Fox News Chairman Roger Ailes is responding to a lawsuit filed by lawyers for Gretchen Carlson.
In Carlson's complaint, she says Ailes began sexually harassing her, making comments in one-on-one meetings like, "I think you and I should have had a sexual relationship a long time ago."
I've said before, I wasn't her biggest fan, and I did care for him. So it's like, I don't know what I believe. And I hadn't been viewing him for all those 10 years as a serial harasser. I always thought it was like he was about me. He wanted to go to bed with me. So I really wrestled with whether to speak up. What made me finally do it was I got wind of the fact that they were going to conduct an investigation, but only of the people who worked with Gretchen, which meant about 6 people, half of whom were guys. So I knew I wouldn't be called in there to tell a story. No one would ask me. No one would ask any other talent who would have been alone in his office as I was. And that's what ultimately made me call Lachlan Murdoch and say, "I don't know what he is, but you need to do a real investigation." And they did.
They've received sexual harassment accusations against Ailes from more than 20 women. Some allegations date back to the 1960s.
He had been doing it to many others for many years and been getting away with it scot-free. And he had a team of protectors there who had been enabling him.
What would you tell other people who may not be in the same situation, so it may not be sexual harassment, but there's some sort of situation where there's a power imbalance, where there's fear, where there's real risk? What did you learn about going through that kind of thing?
I could certainly look at the me that was wrestling with this decision a couple of years ago and say, MK, just keep your mouth shut. And I probably, if that had happened, maybe I'd still be at Fox. Would that have been a better version of me? No, I don't think so. But a lot of shit has come my way since then. I mean, a lot of bad things have come my way since then too. And I can't say I regret any of it. And some people disagree. I have friends there who, have disowned me because they think I should have been loyal to him. I should have placed loyalty above probing the question of whether we had a serial harasser on our hands. I don't see how you weight your values that way, but that's my own value system. So I followed my own ethical compass.
Hey, tune into the Carlos Watson Show. It's like no other. You're going to enjoy it every weekday on YouTube.